Poultry slaughter doubles around the world as the food shortage worsens. This season, as looming global food shortages and the rising cost of living worsen, the number of chickens killed around the world has virtually doubled. An unprecedented bird flu outbreak, according to experts, has resulted in a sharp increase in culling over the previous season. The World Organization for Animal Health, WOAH, reports that over 22 million instances of diseases in wild birds and poultry have been documented so far this season in 68 different countries. This number is twice the 11 million that was recorded between October 2020 and September 2021, which was also record high. A total of 94.2 million farm birds have been killed and disposed of in an effort to stop the spread. 54.4 million animals were killed last season. This season, as looming global food shortages and the rising cost of living worsen, the number of chickens killed around the world has virtually doubled. An unprecedented bird flu outbreak, according to experts, has resulted in a sharp increase in culling over the previous season. Prior to 2020, only twice had the number of birds killed to stop the spread of avian flu exceeded 15 million. According to experts, the rise has further disturbed supply networks, which has raised costs. The announcement comes in the midst of a crisis in the cost of living and growing food insecurity, which have been made worse by government attacks on farmers, Russia's invasion of Ukraine, inflation, exorbitant gas prices, and droughts. The Center for Environmental Farming Systems' Kathleen Liang told The Telegraph that the situation was devastating from a market and supply perspective. Remember that the chicken and egg are served together. Due to avian flu, inflation, and difficulties with importing and exporting, both have unquestionably become more expensive, she continued. A number of issues, including bird flu, are causing food instability. Some restrictions to safeguard poultry and captive birds were relaxed in the UK in May despite the country also experiencing an unprecedented bird flu season. However, the avian influenza prevention zone is still in effect, so bird caretakers must adhere to rigorous biosecurity regulations. According to The Telegraph's Professor Munir Iqbal, who is in charge of the avian influenza virus group at the Pirbright Institute in Surrey, the risk to agriculture is still quite significant because of the virus's continued spread among wild populations. For instance, the National Trust estimates that at least 3,000 birds have perished in the Farne Islands, which are off the coast of Northumbria. It is the worst catastrophe to affect its colonies in almost a century. In an effort to stop the spread of avian flu, the Scottish government agency Nature Scot has urged 23 islands to stop receiving visitors. A disease outbreak could happen at any time, according to Professor Iqbal. H5N1, bird flu, outbreaks are being recorded even in the summer. This indicates that the virus is prevalent among wild birds and that it is spreading to poultry. He continued, the cost of production is rising due to both disease outbreaks and feed prices, which affect both the affordability of customers and the livelihood of farmers. In the UK and other nations, the price of both poultry meat and eggs has dramatically skyrocketed. According to Professor Iqbal, there are growing concerns about the potential severity of the upcoming flu season, and it is unlikely that the problem will go away immediately. The degree of bird flu infection this season has been unprecedented, according to Dr. Christine Middlemiss, the UK's top veterinary officer, who spoke to BBC Radio 4 on Tuesday. We have serious concerns about what the upcoming autumn-winter season, when the migratory birds return once more, may bring. According to a DEFRA spokeswoman, only a small part of the 20 million birds the poultry sector produces each week, 2.75 million, have been killed in the UK to date. Our teams are working around the clock to support poultry keepers affected by this dreadful disease, the statement reads. The UK is suffering from its largest ever epidemic of bird flu. While there have been fewer new cases, according to Grady Ferguson, a senior research analyst at the data firm Grow Intelligence, the losses will continue to harm its business, potentially for years, as did the U.S. 2014 to 2015 losses of 50 million birds, he added. He claimed that it was the worst animal health catastrophe in U.S. history. The U.S. has already lost 40 million poultry this year. As migratory birds, a significant suspected bird flu spreader, migrate south for the winter, further losses may start to occur in the fall. Although the cause of the recent jump is unknown, experts say that given its size, it is unlikely to be the result of improved surveillance, particularly in poultry, where disease has long been extensively monitored. Governments contend that alternative explanations include altered migratory patterns, increased interactions between free-range poultry and wild animals, climate change, or an unanticipated influenza episodic. Additional illnesses are also posing a danger to food security around the world. African swine fever, a highly contagious viral disease that has decimated China's pork industry, is still spreading around the globe. The WOAH reports that since January, more than 80,000 cases have been found in domestic and wild pigs. Meanwhile, Indonesia has experienced a fresh outbreak of foot and mouth disease. As of Tuesday, more than 55,000 animals were sick with the disease in 23 of the archipelago's 37 provinces. Following the discovery of instances in the popular tourist destination Bali, cattle-producing nations like Australia and New Zealand have increased their security. These problems won't go away, according to Professor Liang. To increase food security, we must enhance our knowledge of viruses and better safeguard our wildlife and cattle. As Slay News reported, a food restaurant chain entrepreneur has warned the public to get ready for significant global food shortages coming this winter. The CEO of Supermax, a significant Irish fast food chain, is advising the public to load up immediately on non-perishable food in order to start preparing for the impending worldwide food crisis. McDonagh placed a lot of emphasis on issues related to global fertilizer shortages. The severe lack of fertilizer threatens to cut farmers' crop output in half. He said he would advise individuals to purchase some long-life food soon. Thanks for watching. Please consider subscribing to the channel.